His family lived in.
Okay, so Tyreek sharing his opinion on how things were done with his former quarterback, and now he's got a current quarterback. Matt, what do you think when you hear that from a division rival and like the state of the nation offensively with the Dolphins?
I think with the power offense that they had kind of in the beginning of the year, if they get more in tune, it's just going to be more dangerous.
In general, though, like that's your franchise over the last couple of years quarterback, and you're the guy you paid over the moon for in Tyreek Hill, and he's saying that he's just starting to build this with Tua. Like, would that be alarming to you as an offense?
I don't think it's alarming. Imagine somebody almost having 2,000 yards receiving and saying, we haven't even hit the best stride we can hit.
I see.
And so I think he's kind of saying we can only get better. But then again, if it hasn't happened, will it happen?
Great question.
I think it's interesting. I think it was, of all the bluster we have from current players, and everyone's got a podcast and everyone's talking, like, for him to say, like, we're looking to get to where we were with Mahomes, where we all just hung out and it was very casual and we all just were a crew. And he's saying here, this year it's going to get to that. We had some battles already, but it ain't been a battle where it's not like we can have a conversation. Then we can come back the next play and be like, hey, bro, I think you should do that. It's been, nah, blank you. I'll talk to you later next week. Like, I love that. Tua, awesome dude, great, like, ambassador for the sport and all this thing. Like, I don't think we need to see anything more leadership-wise from him, from our angle. Like, I just think the Dolphins lost again to the Chiefs that way. And so now this offseason, the challenge is, A, of course, get Tua's long-term deal done, if indeed he is the quarterback of the future. But B, how do we get on this bike again? Because for the second straight year, they were the hottest team in football in September and October, and Mike McDaniel had these guys clicking, and then they petered out at the end because they were either too injured or it was just too cold to play based on a negative 30 degrees up in Kansas City and Arrowhead. But remember, I've said this a lot. I don't think the loss in Arrowhead is the sin for the Dolphins. It was the loss to the Bills in the final week of the season where they would have been hosting a playoff game had they won that game. Instead, at home, they lose to Buffalo on a Sunday night. Then you're going to Arrowhead. There's no way to live.
No, you can't eat that way. I was around these guys a little bit at the Pro Bowl. Like, I was down there on the field. They come out together. They hang. Like, listen, they're not sitting around making jokes and doing their handshakes and stuff, but, like, there's no weirdness. I sat there and watched them for a while.
Great.
It's a fascinating human study just to watch these guys come out, and when there are no cameras, no nothing, obvious chemistry, total respect, and just more than anything, like, if they don't have a great personal relationship yet, the production is unbelievable. They've been dominating statistically on the field. Even that Chiefs game when they had nothing, there's still a lightning strike from Tua to Tyreek. So it's like, all right, well, maybe we aren't best friends yet. We're working on it. But we're already kicking so much ass on the field, even without being it. I think the best is yet to come. I still do. This doesn't really move the needle for me that much. I hate to say it, but, like, I'm not surprised here. I think they're both a little bit unique, but they're already doing so well on the field. I don't care.
The only reason why it was triggering for me to read it and then to hear it was a little bit of, like, the TO, like, that's my quarterback protectiveness. Like, why did he have to bring Pat into it? Like, I want to know the parallel of that relationship and friendship. Like, aren't we in a Tyreek Hill era now where it's like, this is just about Tua? Like, why did you have to pull? Because then my mind immediately went to, like, comparing to, like, what that looks like as a team offensively, because you're looking at one relationship here, but in my mind, what's Tua's connection or friendship? It's not even connection, friendship and time spent outside with everybody else. It's just, my mind never went there with how Mahomes handles it outside of the building versus Tua, but now it does. Now I'm, like, running wild with it.
Well, I think every 10 seconds in Tyreek's life, he's probably asked about Mahomes. And it's just like, well, he's the best quarterback in the world, and you left him. And it will always be asked about that, even if he doesn't bring it up, it'll come up.
I also think winning leads to that. Like, the Chiefs have had so many good memories together, so many parades together, so many trips together and to just celebrated, that Mahomes, of course, is best friends with everybody. Look what we've done, look what we've accomplished. The Dolphins, they've fallen short the last couple of years. So for Tyreek, maybe it's like, hey, we just want to get to that point where it's so comfortable because we're enjoying the good times.
But
go on.
Talking with somebody else, you can't bring up. Talking with somebody else about your new girlfriend, you can't bring up your old girlfriend.
Okay.
And so that's what they're going to, that's what people gonna pick about. Like, you could have just said, we just don't have that chemistry yet. We just haven't started going out to eat yet. We haven't started going, but you didn't have to compare it to somebody else, because now, once you do that, that's what the media pick up.
Well, look at us starting the hour with it.
Exactly. You pick up on it, and then everybody gonna talk about it. And even if Tua never addresses it, he still hears it, and he's like, bro, you didn't have to say that. Or you could have just came to me and talked about it. But I think that's kind of a podcast era, and everybody says stuff. Like, sometimes you just get to talking, and you don't know how somebody else gonna take it or be offended by it. So hopefully, like, he can address, like he said, address that with Tua. Be like, this is what I meant by it. Behind closed doors, and then they go on about it. And if somebody offended, then if y'all brothers enough, and y'all good teammates enough, you'll get over it.
Because sometimes then what happens is Tua then goes on a podcast. And then he has something to say, and should he? And if
I don't think I ever heard Tua talk.
He's a little.
You've played against him several times. Does he talk smack?
No, he don't talk smack. Real respectable, real good guy. I haven't ever heard him talk.
Do you chirp him, like, to try to rattle him? Because I know you do that a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but he don't really say nothing. He just put his head down, keep walking forward.
Yeah.